Chapter 10. The Dangers of Self-Censorship During the COVID Pandemic. Dr. Joseph Fraiman, Emergency Medicine Physician and Researcher. Dr. Joseph Fraiman is an emergency medicine physician currently working in New Orleans, Louisiana and the surrounding rural region. Dr. Fraiman served as the medical manager of Louisiana's Urban Search and Rescue Disaster Task Force 1. As an independent clinical scientist, he researches harm-benefit analysis of clinical interventions and has published analyses linking the COVID-19 mRNA vaccines with serious harm. The following chapter is being read by the author, Dr. Joseph Fraiman.
At first, I hesitated to contribute a chapter to this book due to the fear of being associated with some of the other authors. It wasn't personal dislike of the other writers, but given that so many of us have had our reputations destroyed these past years, I feared further damage to my own. It dawned on me that my hesitation was itself a form of self-censorship, and I saw the irony in refusing to write a chapter in a book on censorship. So instead, I decided to offer my exploration of self-censorship during the COVID-19 pandemic. Self-censorship is a common aspect of our daily lives, as it is a basic skill we begin to learn in childhood. Toddlers learn that curse words are fun to say, then quickly learn to censor themselves to avoid punishment. As children, most of us read The Emperor's New Clothes, a fable teaching us that too much self-censorship can become dysfunctional. I believe this fable provides a timeless lesson that fits our current moment. Self-censorship during the COVID pandemic has taken many forms. As a medical professional and scientist, one might assume that I'm immune to such pitfalls, but the opposite is true. Facing fear of professional repercussions, I have downplayed and withheld discussing valid scientific concerns publicly. Other medical professionals have done the same, thus stifling productive debate, preventing critical variables from being evaluated, and creating the illusion of scientific consensus, where one may have never existed. The media, taking its cue from the experts, disseminated information that fit a specific narrative, ignoring or ridiculing everything questioning it. Journalists who attempted to challenge the narrative came up against the resistance of their superiors and more often than not, decided to play it safe. To compound this, any expert or publication that dared raise a challenge would be investigated by fact-checkers and predictably labeled as misinformation and subsequently censored. Everyday citizens on the receiving end of this distorted information machine were left without any previous respected outlet for any well-founded skepticism. A few spoke out and were virtually ostracized from mainstream society, and many others saw the writing on the wall and, wishing to maintain their relationships and avoid uncomfortable situations, kept their opinions to themselves. In this way, medical professionals, mainstream media, and everyday citizens, combined with the power of fact-checkers to label misinformation, created a feedback loop, resulting in an overly self-censored society. In the remainder of this chapter, I'll explain these aspects of self-censorship in greater detail through my own experience as a physician and scientist. While today, I am an outspoken critic of COVID-19 orthodoxy, I've not always been so. Early in the pandemic, I trusted the experts. I publicly advocated support for their policies and sometimes even more aggressive approaches. As an emergency room physician, I witnessed firsthand a massive amount of death and devastation caused by COVID-19. The ER doc in me was thinking only about saving lives, anything to stop the death around me. I became publicly outspoken on the topic, doing interviews with journalists, writing op-eds, and publishing in medical journals. I believed more aggressive measures would save lives. It's interesting to note that every time I offered an opinion criticizing federal policy recommendations, As not aggressive enough, I found medical journals.
To listen to the remainder of this essay and the 33 other essays, please visit Audible, Apple Books, or Amazon to receive your copy in print, ebook, or audio. Thank you.